Hi guys, this is Mrs. Renfro. Today is Friday, March 27th, and I just wanted to say hi. I hope you all have been working hard on your math and science for me. Don't forget to check out the links for Mrs. Sellers and Mr. Browning's work, and I am also going to be posting a message that Mrs. Colonel would like you guys to maybe join her Google Classroom. She sent out invites to your emails and said that several people have not checked those just yet, so you need to check that. Check your school email and see if you can log into her Google Classroom as well. And hopefully you guys have your instruments at home so that you can practice that also. Okay, so today I'm going to flip the camera around here, and I hope that it doesn't make anybody dizzy, so let me close this. Okay. So now we can see our math work. Get around here. Okay. So like I said, today is February, oh my, March 27th, and we're working on page 15 today. Yesterday I kind of started you off with this to show you how to set it up, and what you would do from here to continue it on your calculator. Then you are going to divide by 0.25. So you would have 13 divided by 0.25, which would get you 52. And I know some of you are thinking that can't be right because we're dividing a small number by an even smaller number. How can it be bigger? Well, if you look at the whole problem, 25% of what number is 13? So 13 is the 25%. So it has to be a bigger number, right? So does it make sense that 52, if we have 52 to start with, and then we get 25% of that, that it would be 13? One thing you can do to check that is you can take 52 times 0.25 and see if it is 13. That's a check that you can do. And yes, that is the right answer. And when you're dividing by a decimal, that usually increases your number, your answer. And I know that sounds confusing. It makes no sense with math. It's just easier if you look at the words of the problem and then figure out what we're doing that way. So number 2, 50% is what number? Oh, I'm sorry. 50% of what number is 140? I'm having a hard time talking today. Got a bit of a headache, so you know how that affects me. So 50% would be 0.50 of means times, and what number is? So this will be what number is 140. Remember our key words here. So we're changing this to a decimal again by moving that decimal 2 places to the left, just like yesterday. Of means times. What number is in is equals, and then 140. Okay? So we're just writing down in numbers what the words are saying. Then you're going to divide, then do the opposite, remember, of what this sign is, which is divide. That cancels this out. And then we divide over here by 0.50. So then we have n equals 140 divided by 0.5 is 280. Okay? And again, does that make sense? Is 140 50% of 280? Yeah, it is. Okay? Now, number 3, 10%, I'm going to change that to a decimal, 0.10 of times what number n is equals 60. Keeps getting blurry on me, I'm sorry. Okay, so then 10%, we're going to divide, right? 0.10, that cancels out. and then 0.10 here. So now we have n equals 60 divided by 0.10 is 600. And again, if you want to do the check, look back at it. 10% of 600 is 60. Is that true? Yes. Okay. Now number 4, 5% of what number is 12? So this one we have to be really careful that we move the decimal 2 places. 1, 2. And when we put that decimal there, we have an empty spot. And remember, anytime there's an empty spot, we put a 0 in there. So now we have 0.05 of is times what number is n is 12. Now we're going to divide by 0.05. We're doing the opposite to get rid of that. So in this case, n equals 12 divided by 0.05 is 240. Okay, number 5. 30% of what number is 72? 30% is going to become 0.30 of what number is 72? And we divide by 0.30, and n equals 72 divided by 0.30. That is 240. I have 2 of them in a row that are 240. Number 6, 70% of what number is 56? So move that decimal 2 places. We have 0.70 of what number is 56? So then we're going to divide by 0.70, and we have n equals 56 divided by 0.70 is 80. Number 7, 95% of what number is 57? We have 0.95 times what number is n is 57. Okay, so now we divide by 0.95 on both sides. That cancels. So we have n equals 57 divided by 0.95 is 60. And that one makes sense because 95% is almost the whole thing. 60 and 57 are really close, so 57 being 95% of 60 makes sense. It's almost the whole thing. Now number 8, 75% is 0.75 of what number is 66? Divide by 0.75. Cancel. N equals 66 divided by 0.75 is 88. Okay. Number 9, 85% will become 0.85 of what number is 102. And then we're going to divide by 0.85. And we have n equals 102 divided by 0.85 is 120. And then number 10, 45% is 0.45 of what number is 63. We're going to divide by 0.45. This cancels, and we have n equals 63 divided by 0.45 is 140. Okay, so those aren't too bad. Now the last question asks, explain how you could use 25% of a number to find a number. Well, I know it sounds confusing the way it's asked, But what they're saying is, what did you do up here? Okay. Well, we divided. So divide by the part to find the whole. Or divide the part, let me rephrase that, divide the part by the percent to find the whole. Wasn't quite saying what I wanted to say there. So divide the part, which in this case would be the 102, by the percent, which was 85%, to find the whole. Okay? All right, let's see. Tomorrow's Saturday, isn't it? No homework day. So tomorrow we have a day off, and we will start back on Monday with understanding division with fractions. And we have just 3 problems, so that should be kind of a short lesson. It says complete the bar model to show how many 1/5 make 14/10. So they have 14/10 is this whole thing, and they're wanting you to find out how many fifths are going to fit in there. Okay, so you're probably going to want to use something to measure, and if you don't have a ruler, which I don't have one handy here, what I would do is just make a little mark on a piece of paper. Okay, oops, can't see that, there we go. Make a little mark on your piece of paper that's the same length as that one, and then just go through and make a mark on your line to show, like this, that's another fifth, and then just keep doing that until you have all of your fifths in there, and then you'll answer the question, how many fifths make 14/10? Then we're going to look at it mathematically, not just with the models. Okay, look at it with the numbers, and you'll complete these equations. All right, and then number 2, use the number line to show 2/3 divided by 1/12. So you've got 2/3, you're going to cut it into 12ths all the way through. Okay, so you want to make sure that they are all the same length so that it fits in there properly. And then they want to know, what is the quotient? Remember, a quotient is the answer to a division problem. And then number 3, what type of model do you like better, the bar model or the line model? Also, I'm going to be sending out, probably later this evening, a really short questionnaire just to find out which type of instruction you prefer. If you prefer the online instruction, like with the CK12 that we have, or if you prefer a packet and having me teach through YouTube like this, whatever works best for you. There's several options that, as we're kind of looking at more doing online teaching, that we could look at. So I'll send out that questionnaire and kind of ask what you think you would prefer to do. That'll give you your idea as we move forward what I should do to help you the best. If you like doing the pencil and paper and the video combined, you could say that, or if you like only the paper, we can do that. Now, I will probably be going back to our lessons that we had been doing, so that means that we would probably go toward the end of the packet, which was the graphing the variables, putting them on the number line. If you remember, it's been a while, but that wouldn't be until the middle of April. We have this packet will take us through April 14th, so I'll continue with this until then, but then I'm looking at what else we need to be doing to help you learn the best. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoy this beautiful day. I've enjoyed being outside with my dogs and looking at flowers and plants that are blooming. I hope you take time to enjoy the beautiful things in life, and not just focus on all the bad stuff that's going on in the world right now, but focus on your friendships and the beautiful things in the world. I love you guys, and I hope to see you soon.